Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to do a trip through the Kent countryside on the South Eastern High Speed route. Although this is not high speed, it is going to be a local stopping service. 2 Uniform 05, Gillingham to Dover Priory, although we'll be terminated at Faversham. So let's go. So first things first, let's get the key in, key on, put reverse into neutral and get the doors open. We'll get the AWS on and we'll get the headlights in day running mode, and I think that's probably all it. I don't really like using the DSD and the DVD. Sometimes I find it can be a bit sluggish to cancel them and it's easy to miss them, so I'm not going to use them today. Although I believe in Tracing World 4, if you have those on, then you get more points when you complete the route. So we've got a southeastern high speed train travelling on the other platform here. Quite nice trains to drive. I prefer local routes rather than high speed. I think it's because I don't tend to have many stops, and it can be a little bit tedious just driving for miles and miles and miles at high speed and not stopping. But I know some people like that sort of thing, just not really for me. Right, we can also see actually if we move along here, we can see over in the distance Rail Operations Group Class 37 waiting to do something. Engines running, warming up. Okay, I'll shut the doors now. And we're not going to be able to go until the signal changes anyway, because at the end of the platform there it's still showing as a red. I don't know, we have to wait for this one to leave, I'm not sure, possibly. What I might do is just creep up to the signal. In the real world you wouldn't dispatch the train against a red signal, but we're going to lose some time otherwise, I think. So that high speed train's leaving now. If we look in, well, it's going in the opposite direction, it could influence that signal, I guess, that we're going to be coming out across the main line there. So this is our signal, so let's creep up to it and just see if it changes, because we should have left nearly a minute ago and it still hasn't changed to green yet. So I'll go. So we've got a green, so we'll get up to 15 miles an hour or close to it. I don't want to go past the speed limit. Okay. We can go outside and have a look at my favourite train of all time. The Beast. Okay. It's funny, the Class A7 is still amazing to think they're still running on the rail network. Some 60 years old, 60 years after they were first introduced into service. Right, okay. The sun's coming up, although it's coming up and shining straight in our eyes, which can be really annoying. If anybody's ever driven a car with the sun shining through in the morning, you can see how difficult it is to see where you're going. Fortunately, it's not too bad at the moment. Right, okay, so we've cleared the points so we can get up to 60. And here we see, so we're on the 465. As I may have mentioned before, it's a nice train. I think a lot of people like it because it's quite quirky to look at. Good views out the windows, which It's unlike some of the EMUs like the 385, which is very restrictive, and also the Electrostars, the 377s, 387s, because they've got that central corridor. This bit here you can't really see past, you can see out the door, and that's it. Okay, time to overspeed. So we should be coming into the 80 in a moment. Yeah, South East High Speed is a nice route. It'd be nice if they could add a few more sections to it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's already, there's an awful lot of services on here already. I think it's something like 1,200 services, so I think any more might make it a bit unplayable. I think there's two versions already. There's a kind of a South East High Speed Lite, and then there's the full version. I think for the Gen 8 consoles and older PCs, the Lite version is there to stop lag and other things. So first stop is Rainham. Don't really know too much about Rainham. I don't recall ever being there. Just a sort of a Kent commuter town, I think is all I know it was. Okay, get off, we overspeed. Yeah, we're not gonna be there on time. We'll bring the speed down, start bringing it down now. So we've got a double flashing yellow coming up, which means there's a junction ahead somewhere. So the next signal should be a single flashing yellow, which, looking at how far we've got to go, I'd say it's probably at the end of the platform. Flashes are usually to give you an indication of what's coming up and to get you to reduce your speed before you get to the junction. And 387 over. That's right. 700 over there to 0. About a minute late, which is not too bad considering we weren't really able to leave on time. Okay, get the passengers off. Look around here. We're going on their merry ways. This all wearing nice quilted jackets. Must be cold out there this morning. Okay, we shut the doors. Wait a few seconds. Okay, so we're about a minute late, but so we've got got a single flashing yellow. So our next signal should be a single yellow, hopefully. I'm hoping that as we approach that single yellow and we're below the 60 miles an hour, that the signal should step up from a single yellow to a green. But we'll see. Let's take the speed down a bit and let's see what happens when we come around the corner. So we've got single yellow. It doesn't look like it's going to step up. Oh yes, it did just before we got to it. So that's a green. So we can put our foot down a little bit now. So our next station is Newington. Again, I don't really know too much about that either. It's a small kind of village almost, I believe. Apparently the place is dotted with World War II pillboxes, the little concrete structures you find around Kent that were used for defensive fortifications in the Second World War, where the army, the Home Guard or wherever would position themselves in should there be an invasion. Right, so that's a double yellow, so it's slowing us down a bit. Let's start that, ready for the single yellow coming up around the corner, I expect. That was for the 40 miles an hour. This will be for the single yellow, I guess. Yep. So the red should be at the end of the platform, I'm thinking. Break in now. So it looks like the 40's at the other side of the station. So we're coming into Newington. Seems like a very nice place if it's looked like this in real life, very scenic. Okay, so the people on and off. Okay, where are we? Yeah, there's not much going on around here. Okay, shut the doors and be on our way. Okay, the next port of call is Sittingbourne. Going into 40 mile an hour here. I don't think we'll get to 40 before we get out of the 40 limits. Say 75 miles an hour is the top speed, which is not that much at all for a modern train. A 165 or 166, which is a diesel multiple unit, will do should do 90 miles an hour. So these are comparatively slow. So Sittingbourne, which we get is a very larger town. Main economy is brick making, apparently, barge building and water transport, and paper. Oh, my ear bad. Let's get it down a little bit. I thought I might get to the 80 before it went over 70, but not. Two miles to Sittingbourne. Apparently the name from Sittingbourne comes from a small stream or bourne running underground in part of the town. Okay, slow down again. We're over the speed limit of the train this time. We want bit of a downhill gradient here. I have visited Sittingbourne once and it seemed like a very nice place. So let's put a bit of brake in there. So this looks quite a nice route. I'm a fan of these third rail routes mainly because the OLE spoils it for me when you have all these metal structures along the lines, but I know some people like that, but I like the cleanliness of just the rails running a distance rather than lots of bits of metal. So we're approaching Sittingbourne now. There's a high-speed service on the other platform. How late are we? It's over a minute. Should probably just gee us up to the end of the platform because it's going very slowly. That'll do. Get everybody off and everybody on. Here's a view of Sittingbourne. I'm not sure what it looks like in real life, but this is Train Sim World 3 version of it. Shut the doors. And we're off for Tainham. Okay, we're up to 75 on this. I think this line speed is 80, but we could do 75. It kind of feels slightly autumnal, this route on this day. This route in real life, of course, it's September now, and the autumn will be on us soon as the summer's sort of ending now. Nights are getting shorter. Sorry, the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer. Bits of mist in the morning. It's quite nice. Autumn's a nice season, as long as it doesn't rain. See that passengers are all enjoying their journey. All of them. Yep. Maybe Tainham's not so popular. Although it is quite early in the morning, it's only 7 minutes past 6, so perhaps we shouldn't expect too many people on board the train at this point. So a half mile to go. So look over the glorious Kent countryside. I'm going to put the brakes in though, because it might not stop otherwise. The whistle as well. The brakes do seem to be quite good on this this train though. Unlike some of the others in trains in World 3, namely the 385, which takes an awful lot of guesswork to get it to stop where you want to. That will do us. Look outside. People getting on here. What does a PIS say? 608. Expected 609. Well, they were right. So let's lock the doors. It's nice to have working PISs. It just kind of has that level of authenticity about it. Train announcements would be a lovely thing to have as well. If I could sort that out, that would be really great. And I wouldn't have thought it would be that difficult. I've obviously started it on the Glasgow-Edinburgh route where they had a manual one, although I didn't really understand the point of putting a manual one on and then not having it been able to go automatically as well. You would have thought it'd been quite straightforward to work out where the train was in the game and to be able to get the announcements. I mean, in real life you wouldn't do them manually like that. If you really wanted it, it'd be quicker just to announce them yourself rather than fiddling around with a computer screen. But hey, hopefully there'll be something for the future. And with Trains in World 4 only a week away or so, it should be quite interesting to see what comes out in the near future. Right, 3.4 miles to Faversham. Let's get it up to speed. 75. That was a 377, I believe. It's a nice route. I do like this route. I think it's because there are lots of different lengths of services you can in this one. So you don't have to do long hour-and-a-half ones, but there are some long ones if you want to do them, and there's these short 25-30 minute ones which I prefer. So it's 2.5 miles away. Of course, the number of routes on here, or number of services, now has increased if you've got the Class 700 Zero train on it. That gives you quite a few more routes to do. Take that down to 75, got a whistle board. Technically the whistle should be low, not high, but what we got here is for a 60. Okay, so that's that's better. I shouldn't really do that, but it's a bit of a faff to do it on the keyboard. Right, okay. 30 coming up, so I need to move it. Then that's a junction I'm expecting then. Oh, a bit hard on the brakes then. We've got it into emergency, which I don't want, and it's going to, there we go. So we're coming in at platform 3 at Faversham, so probably crossing over, which is why the 30-mile-an-hour limit is coming up. No, it's still a 16. Let's keep going then. 30 must be for a junction somewhere then, so we can put power back on. So we've got half a mile to go. But we have got a single yellow, so keep the speed down. Coming into Faversham. There's a GWR liveried 395 there, so obviously escaped delivery editor and got onto this route. And interestingly, there's another one on the other side. Maybe you can fit 2 in this platform. I think I overshot there, but I just wanted to go to the end of the platform, so I'll unlock the doors. Just because I wanted to see how far this was off the end, but yeah, it seems I've got 2 of those on here. Strange. Okay. Oh, been booted out of my train. Okay, so how do we do? Probably got a silver. Oh no, we got a gold, even though I didn't get the platforms correctly. But yeah, so that's that. I hope you enjoyed that little drive through the Kent countryside, and see you again soon. Bye now.